some questions. State your name, where you're speaking from, and let's get started. First question today.
Morning,
Good
Charles
morning.
from Inspire the Muse. I was curious, what have your experiences been like on the stage versus in a sound room?
Oh, it's like night and day. Well, because obviously I'm not on stage, but I started my career on stage. Actually, my very first job was for television, the Disney Channel, on the Mickey Mouse Club, which was taped in Orlando at the MGM Studios. At the time, it was the MGM Studios. I think it's different now. It's the Hollywood Studios. But that was my first experience with acting, and that was like compared that with Saturday Night Live for kids. So we were on a set, and we taped in front of a live studio audience, so that's similar to being on stage because the immediate response from the audience was like right there. But when I'm doing theater, you start the show and you just keep going until it's done. Whereas when we were doing the television show, we had 2 or 3 takes, so the audience sort of had to react, freshly every single time. So there's a difference there. And then in the studio, it's just me and the microphone and the director and the line director, the creator of the show. So it's like a different world. And and being in the studio, being in the recording studio is one of my favorite places to be. I started singing quite young, and so it's just one of my favorite things to do is recording music or even doing the voiceover work. And I'm fairly new to the voiceover world, so I'm just soaking it all in. But yeah, different. Thank you.
Next question.
Nia from Red Slippers Buzz _ on Instagram. How has the Ruby and Sapphire wedding, as well as the Steam Universe in general, affected the LGBT community in your opinion?
In my opinion, it's been a wonderful experience. I feel like just based on the response that I've seen on social media, it's just been embraced and appreciated in a wonderful way. I feel like because it doesn't touch my world specifically or personally that way, but I just know that based on talking with some of the fans, they are so appreciative of a show that is so representative of all walks of life and incredibly inclusive and diverse, and a show that's basically about love for all. So it's just been wonderful. It's been wonderful, and I know just from some interviews that Rebecca has done, she said that she was creating a show that she wished that she had growing up. And I have found with some of the older fans, they felt the same. So I think it's wonderful and beautiful.
Next question.
Dave from geekgals.co. Pearl's character, has evolved. I mean, obviously when the show started, a lot of her backstory was not known. As you learn it, do you have to adjust how you approach the character?
I sort of do my work as a voice character, as the voice of Pearl. I do that based on I sort of voice it that day. So I will get the script. Typically, I'll get the script maybe 2 days before I record, and so surprise. I mean, it was a big surprise. All of the developments and character developments from when Pearl was first introduced, and I have a feeling that her evolvement, is that a word even? That's her evolvement, evolution, okay, thank you.
Great one.
Sort of grew based on maybe even our relationship between me and Rebecca, or with the cast, as how we've been recording for so long now. We're in season 5, and so sort of personality traits get a little bit seeped into the character, and I think the writers also have just been sort of, you know, like a sponge, just kind of taking bits and pieces of our personality and putting it into the character. So, oh my gosh, I forgot what the question was.
Oh, no, you answered it
Yeah,
perfectly.
you answered it, yeah. Yeah, totally answered it, yep.
That was great.
Thank you.
As we wrap up right now, Deedee, do you want to let the press know anything you got coming in the future?
Well, I continue to audition for television and film and musical theater. Musical theater's been sort of my bread and butter. That's how I met my husband. We did Miss Saigon together many years ago. We've actually been to Hartford several times with theater shows. Miss Saigon at the Bushnell with Miss Saigon, Wicked, and If Then. So I would love to do more musical theater. I'm auditioning for everything. I would like to do Hamilton someday. Yeah, that's like my dream, one of my dreams. And I'm just, I also sing with a mommy group called Mama Bears, and so we sort of do music videos together sometimes. And
That is adorable.
yeah, so I'm, you know, continuing on with the voiceover acting and television, film, and stage. So just follow me on social media.
Thank you so much, Deedee.
Thank you. Thanks.